Some people fake their death and vanish forever. Smart, clean, untraceable. This video is not about those people. This is about the idiots who faked their death and got caught because they used a rewards card, commented on their own obituary, or entered a fishing tournament they absolutely did not need to win. 101 masterminds who had one job and failed spectacularly. 1. Some Florida man faked his death to dodge child support. Staged a carjacking, left blood on the seat, vanished. Genius plan. One tiny problem. He used his EBT card at Walmart the next morning. System flagged a dead man buying Hot Pockets. Cops arrived before he finished checkout. 2. This mastermind staged a fiery car crash with a body inside. Dramatic, cinematic, almost impressive. Except the body was a CPR dummy he stole from a community college. Coroner took one look and laughed. Plastic doesn't have bones, organs, or dental records. Rookie mistake, champ. 3. Ohio man faked a boating accident to escape $200,000 in debt. Wife collected insurance. They reunited in Florida, lived nice for 3 years. Then this champion entered a fishing tournament, won first place, smiled big for the local newspaper. Creditors saw it before his wife did. 4. Dude told cops he was kidnapped, tortured, and killed. Left a dramatic ransom video as proof. Very cinematic. One problem, he left the camera's memory card at his mom's house. Police found it during the sympathy interview. Mom went from crying to absolutely furious in 3 seconds flat. 5. A dentist vanished during a solo sailing trip. Boat found drifting. Very mysterious, presumed dead. Coast Guard located him 2 weeks later bartending in Honduras. Still had his Delaware dental license in his wallet. Sir, you could have at least bought a new wallet for your new fake life. 6. Staged his own shooting to fake a home invasion murder. Left bullet casings, blood splatter, the whole CSI scene. Problem: no bullet holes anywhere. Not in the walls, not in the furniture, nothing. Just blood and casings on the floor. Cops asked one question. So where did the bullets go? He had no answer. 7. This financial advisor facing fraud charges went full action movie. Put his plane on autopilot, parachuted into Alabama, let it crash into a neighborhood. Nobody died, thankfully. Manhunt lasted 48 hours. Found him at a campground because he used his hotel rewards card. Points over freedom. 8. Faked his death in a mining accident. Left his helmet at the scene, fled to Argentina. Learned Spanish, got a tan, blended in perfectly. Then he tried to renew his US passport at the embassy. Under his real name. With his real face. Embassy staff Googled him. Obituary was the third result. 9. Disappeared in South America, family held a beautiful memorial. Insurance paid out. Meanwhile, this genius was working at a Nevada call center. His own brother called about a billing issue. Recognized his voice immediately. Imagine explaining that to mom. So funny story about the funeral. 10. This woman faked her drowning during a solo kayaking trip. Left the kayak floating, left a farewell note on shore. Collected life insurance through her sister. Got caught because she kept her Pinterest account active. Pinning wedding dresses. For her upcoming secret wedding. To her new boyfriend. In the same state. 11. Man faked a drowning, wife claimed $2 million, bought a house in Costa Rica. Paradise achieved. Then this absolute specimen registered to vote. Under his real name. In a country that shares records with the US. Voter registration form caught him before any detective did. Democracy won. 12. Told everyone he died in a motorcycle crash overseas. Collected insurance through his brother, started fresh in Canada. Then he commented on his own obituary, from an account with his face as the profile picture. Comments section, disabled permanently, by the police. 13. Staged a hiking accident, left gear scattered on a cliff. Search team spent 9 days looking. Helicopters, dogs, the whole production. He was hiding in his girlfriend's basement 4 miles away. Her neighbor saw him taking out trash at night. One chore. One single chore destroyed everything. 14. A lawyer faked his death to escape tax evasion charges. changed his name, moved abroad, built a whole new life. Then he wrote a memoir about it, published it, with his photo on the back cover. Sold 12 copies before FBI bought number 13. Thanks for the signed confession, counselor. 15. Faked a scuba accident in the Caribbean, assumed new identity, fled to Europe. 4 years of freedom. Then he sued someone over a fender bender in Spain. Used his real social security number on the paperwork by accident. That document crossed exactly the wrong desk. Plot twist of the century. 16. This genius paid a homeless guy $50 to identify a random corpse as him. The homeless guy took the money, walked straight to police, snitched immediately. $50. That was the entire budget for accomplice loyalty. You get what you pay for, and he paid for handcuffs. 17. Told everyone cancer was killing him. Threw a goodbye party. Staged a peaceful death at home. Wife filed insurance claims. Then he got bored hiding and walked into his favorite bar 6 months later. Ordered his usual drink. Bartender called cops before bringing the beer. Creature of habit. Meet prison. 18. Burned his car with a body inside. Very dramatic. Very committed. The body came from a medical school cadaver lab he broke into. Forensics matched it to their missing donation records in about an hour. Added grave robbery to his charges. Upgraded from fraud to full horror movie villain. 19. Staged a mugging gone wrong, had his cousin rough up the scene, left bloody evidence everywhere. Perfect crime, except his cousin bragged about it at a party that weekend. Story spread through 3 counties by Monday morning. Cops just listened to local gossip. Family loyalty has limits. 20. Vanished on a business trip, declared dead, life insurance collected. Wife grieving, kids traumatized. 5 years later, mom spots him in a news segment about maple syrup production. Background of the shot. She recognized his walk, flew to Canada next day. Moms always find you. Always. 21. Man staged his drowning in Lake Michigan. Very theatrical, lots of witnesses, lots of splashing around. Wife claimed PTSD disability from watching him die. Beautiful scam for 5 years. He got caught attending his high school reunion. Walked right in wearing a name tag. Old classmates definitely talk. 22. This rocket scientist faked a fatal mugging and fled to Brazil. New identity, beach life, perfect escape. Then he opened a restaurant, named it after himself. His real name. Put his face on the menu. U.S. Marshals ate there on vacation. Worst business decision in criminal history. 23. Staged a kidnapping gone wrong, left a ransom note demanding $500,000. Very professional looking, except he printed it on his home computer, which saved the document, with his name in the metadata. Ransom, note, final, draft, V3, Mike, docs. Detectives didn't even need coffee to solve this one. 24. Faked his death, moved to Thailand, built a whole new life, 12 years of freedom. Then he video called his grandson on his birthday. Kid recorded it for a school project about family heritage. Teacher recognized him from America's Most Wanted. Show and tell became show and jail. 25. This legend convinced everyone he died skydiving. Packed funeral, beautiful eulogies, the works. Then he got a DUI in Arizona 3 months later. Gave the cop his real license because he panicked. Sir, dead people don't get pulled over for swerving through a Taco Bell drive-thru at 2 a.m. 26. Staged a fatal home invasion, disappeared, wife collected $500,000 in insurance. Perfect crime for 8 months. Then he got homesick and drove past his old house, just to look. Every night, for 2 weeks. Neighbors noticed a suspicious vehicle and called cops. Ran the plates. Dead man's car driven by a dead man. Worst stalker of his own life. 27. Faked death to escape 3 ex-wives and their lawyers. Masterful motivation, honestly. New state, new job, new life. Then he got engaged again and his wedding announcement ran in the same newspaper as his obituary. 3 years apart, same photo. Editor called cops instead of running it. 28. Man faked a shark attack in Hawaii. Left a bloody surfboard, torn wetsuit, very dramatic scene. Investigators got suspicious when they noticed the bite marks were too perfect. They matched a Halloween decoration shark jaw from Party City. Clearance section. He cheaped out on his own death. 29. Staged his murder, planted evidence framing his business partner, fled to Costa Rica. Would have worked except he kept logging into his Netflix account from his new location. IP address popped up during the investigation. Binge-watching Breaking Bad while being a worse criminal than Walter White. 30. This mastermind paid a morgue worker to fake his death certificate. Solid plan, solid bribe. Problem. The morgue worker spelled his name wrong, wrote the wrong date, listed cause of death as very dead. 3 errors on 1 document. You had 1 job. Both of you did, actually. 31. Vanished during a hunting trip, rifle found by a creek, presumed mauled by bears. Family devastated, memorial held. He was actually living with his mistress 2 towns over. Got caught when he ordered pizza to her house. The delivery guy was his nephew, awkward. No tip, plenty of handcuffs. 32. Faked a construction accident, had his buddy operate the crane for the fatal incident. OSHA investigated, as they do. Found no blood, no body, and security footage of both idiots high-fiving afterward. They literally celebrated on camera. Deleted absolutely nothing. Criminal masterminds. 33. Staged a drowning at his lake house, collected life insurance through his sister, lived completely off-grid for 2 years. Then he won $3,000 on a scratch ticket. Went to claim it with his real ID, because you need ID over $600. Math and crime don't mix. 34. This genius faked dying in a factory explosion. Very dramatic, very elaborate. Except the factory had been closed for renovations that entire month. No workers, no production, no possible way to die there. He didn't even Google his own workplace schedule. Insurance adjuster laughed until she cried. 35. Man disappeared on a camping trip, left a heartfelt suicide note about debt and shame. Very convincing stuff. Then he filed for unemployment benefits. From the afterlife on, apparently. State computer flagged a dead man requesting job assistance. Government bureaucracy catches everything eventually. 36. Faked a heart attack at work, had his wife identify a homeless man's body at the morgue, fled to Mexico. Perfect plan. Got caught because he kept his gym membership active. Same gym, same location. Manager saw him on the treadmill 18 months later. Cardio killed his alibi twice. 37. Staged his death in a warehouse fire, left a charred body behind. Very gruesome, very thorough. The body was a department store mannequin dressed in his clothes. Firefighters noticed it was still holding a price tag from JCPenney. 40% off. Discount fraud absolutely doesn't pay. 38. This guy faked a fatal ATV accident in the desert. Left the vehicle wrecked, left blood on the handlebars. Vanished into Mexico. Got caught because he kept his Amazon Prime account. Wife noticed new orders shipping to Tijuana. Reviewed his purchase history, sunscreen, flip-flops, and a Spanish dictionary. Not exactly grieving widow material anymore. 39. Staged a robbery at his jewelry store, faked his murder, insurance paid out $2 million. He hid in a storage unit for 3 months. Got caught because he kept ordering Grubhub there. Driver thought it was weird. Guy living in a storage unit ordering sushi twice a day. Reported it. 40. Faked dying in a car crash. Moved to Canada, started completely fresh. Perfect escape. Then he applied for Canadian healthcare using his US medical records. For his very specific, rare condition. Doctors network internationally now. His specialist in Boston got a weird call from Toronto. 41. Man vanished while hiking in Alaska, presumed dead from exposure. Search called off after 2 weeks of nothing. He was living in Seattle working at a coffee shop. His own daughter walked in and ordered a latte. He made it. She recognized his hands. Barista dad got served justice instead. 42. Staged a fatal fall from his apartment balcony. Body never found, presumed washed into the river below. He moved to Nevada and got his real estate license under his real name. Put his face on bus stop ads. His ex-wife called. So did the police. Dream home came with bars. 43. This legend faked a plane crash in the mountains. Left wreckage, burned luggage, very convincing scene. Then he filed an insurance claim for his lost luggage from the crash he staged that he supposedly died in. Sir, dead men don't need reimbursement for missing suitcases. 44. Faked his death to escape embezzlement charges. New identity, new state, clean slate. Then he sued his former employer for wrongful termination as himself, while being legally dead. The judge had questions, many questions. Lawyers still tell this story at conferences. Legend status achieved. 45. Staged a carjacking and murder, disappeared completely. Wife mourned beautifully, collected insurance. He got caught because he drunk dialed his mom on Mother's Day from his new phone. She recorded the whole call, played it for police the next morning. Thanks for calling, sweetie. You're arrested. 46. Man faked drowning to escape a messy divorce. Didn't want to split assets. Hid at his buddy's ranch for 6 months. Got caught when he filed his own life insurance claim. As the beneficiary, on his own policy. That required him to be dead. Sir, you cannot collect money for your own death. That's not how any of this works. 47. This genius staged his death in a gas explosion. Left teeth at the scene for DNA identification. Smart thinking, actually. Except they were clearly dentures. Store-bought. Still in the original packaging. Sir, forensic scientists can identify the difference between human teeth and fixodent products. 48. Faked a fatal skiing accident in Colorado. Vanished completely into Canada. Perfect escape for 4 years. Then he posted a 1-star restaurant review in Vancouver using his real name. Complained the server was rude. Restaurant owner Googled him out of pure spite. Found his obituary instead. 49. Staged his own kidnapping and execution. Left a ransom video, very professional production. Demanded $2 million from his own company. Problem: he filmed it in his garage. Investigators recognized his lawnmower in the background. Same model he'd posted on Facebook 3 weeks earlier. 50. Man faked dying in a motorcycle crash overseas. Family devastated, insurance paid. He'd actually just moved to Florida and became a fishing charter captain. Put his boat business on Instagram with his face and location tags. His brother booked a charter trip to confront him. Awkward fishing trip. 51. This mastermind staged a fatal workplace accident at a slaughterhouse. Left blood and DNA evidence everywhere. Very gruesome, very convincing. Lab results came back, 47 different cows, not one human cell. Sir, you work at a meat plant. Everything there is already dead. Think it through. 52. Faked his death, collected insurance through his brother, moved to rural Wyoming, lived completely off-grid for 3 years. No electronics, no paper trail, nothing. Then he got jury duty. Summons sent to his new address. He actually showed up. Thought ignoring it would be suspicious. It was more suspicious to appear. 53. Staged a drowning during a cruise vacation. Jumped overboard at night, swam to a waiting boat his friend had ready. Very mission impossible. Except his friend got seasick and went home early. Left him floating in the ocean. Coast Guard rescued him. He had to explain why a dead man was treading water 10 miles from the ship. 54. This genius faked a heart attack at the gym. Had a friend sign his death certificate. Solid plan. Problem: his doctor friend was actually a veterinarian. Certificate listed species human in a field meant for dogs and cats. Paperwork betrays you every single time without exception. 55. Man staged his murder to frame his business partner. Planted DNA, fake blood, everything perfect. The DNA was his own hair, left it everywhere, at his own murder scene, where he supposedly died. Sir, you cannot be both the victim and the evidence. That's not how any of this works. 56. Faked a hiking death, moved to Oregon, started a marijuana farm. Legal state, fresh start, good plan. Then he entered his crop in a cannabis competition. Won 3rd place. Photo in High Times magazine. DEA agents read magazines too. His face, his weed, his arrest warrant. 57. Staged his drowning, wife collected insurance, they moved to Costa Rica together. Lived quietly for 3 years. Then he got into a fender bender. Local cops ran his plates, found a U.S. warrant attached to his name. All because he didn't yield at a roundabout. Traffic violations. The silent killer of elaborate fraud schemes. 58. This legend faked a fatal workplace accident and left a suicide note blaming his boss. Very dramatic, very detailed. Problem. He emailed it. From his phone, which had location services on. The metadata showed he wrote it poolside at a resort in Cancun. Technology is a snitch. 59. Man faked his murder, disappeared for 8 years, started a whole new family. Got caught when his son from marriage number 1 matched with his daughter from marriage number 2 on a dating app. DNA test for safety. Surprise, your siblings. Bigger surprise, dad's alive and going to prison. 60. Staged a fatal workplace accident, collected disability through a fake identity, lived in the same town. Same grocery store, same gym, same barber. His former boss saw him buying beer at the store where he always shopped. Didn't even change his routine. Laziness is not a criminal strategy. 61. Faked dying in a house fire, moved 2 states over, built a new life. Perfect plan. Then his dog escaped and got picked up by animal control. Microchipped with his old address and real name. Vet called to return the dog. To a dead man. Questions followed. Many questions. 62. This genius faked his death in a hunting accident. Had his buddy shoot a deer, spread the blood around, called it a tragic misfire. Very emotional funeral. Then he showed up at the taxidermist to pick up the deer mount. Same deer, same blood. Taxidermist remembered the news story, connected the dots. Wanted that trophy too badly. 63. Man faked a boating accident, moved to Alaska, figured nobody would find him there. Remote cabin, off-grid, total isolation. Got caught because he ordered something online. Delivery driver was also his cousin. Small world. Even smaller in Alaska, apparently. Family reunions hit different when one relative is supposed to be dead. 64. Staged his death to escape tax evasion charges. Moved to the Caribbean, lived large on the beach. Then he called into a financial podcast. Anonymous, voice disguised, just wanted to brag. Gave too many specific details about his case. IRS agents definitely listen to finance podcasts. 65. Faked a fatal mountain climbing accident. Left gear on the rocks, left notes, presumed dead. Moved to a beach town and became a surf instructor. Travel magazine did a feature on hidden coastal gems. His photo made the cover. His dentist recognized his smile. Called the cops immediately. 66. This mastermind staged a carjacking, left blood evidence everywhere, vanished completely. DNA came back as female. He'd used his sister's blood for the scene, without telling her, without asking. She was thrilled to clarify for investigators that she very much still had a living brother. 67. Man staged his death in a warehouse explosion. Very dramatic, very loud. Except security cameras caught him walking out the back door 2 minutes before the blast. Casually strolling, carrying a duffel bag. Stopped to wave at the camera. Thought he was waving goodbye. Waved hello to prison. 68. Faked drowning to escape 3 DUI charges and a suspended license. Moved to New Mexico, started fresh. Got pulled over for speeding 2 months later. Handed the cop his old license, the suspended one, from the state where he was legally dead. Officer had never seen a ghost drive before. 69. This legend staged a fatal car crash and fled to Argentina. New name, new life, learned Spanish. Then he got homesick and started a blog about American expat life. Posted photos of his apartment, with his street visible, with his building number visible. Immigration officers can read blogs too. 70. Staged his murder at a construction site. Left a hard hat filled with blood. Very dramatic visual. Blood type didn't match his. Or any human, actually. It was ketchup again. Why is it always ketchup? Crime labs have tested more Heinz than actual hemoglobin at this point. 71. Man faked his death to escape $300,000 in student loans. Solid motivation, honestly. Moved to Prague, got a job teaching English. Then he updated his LinkedIn with his real name and his education history and his new job location. Sally Mae found him in one single click. 72. Staged a fatal boating accident, body never recovered, presumed drowned. Moved inland to Arizona, terrified of water now apparently. Got caught because he joined a local bowling league. Used his real name on the team roster. League photos went in the newspaper. His insurance company bowled there too. 73. Faked dying in a gas station robbery gone wrong. Very dramatic surveillance footage of the whole thing. Then he tried to use the station's rewards points 3 months later. From a different state. Same loyalty account. Saving 15 cents per gallon cost him 15 years. Not a good trade. 74. This legend staged his death and moved to Indonesia. 15 years of perfect freedom. Then a massive earthquake hit. He called his family to say he was okay, from the afterlife. They were confused, then relieved, then furious. Then they called authorities. Emotions are complicated things. 75. Man faked a workplace accident at a construction site. Left his hard hat, left his lunchbox, very convincing scene. Investigation revealed he'd clocked out 2 hours before the accident. Time card proved he was alive. Worse, security footage showed him packing his truck with company tools. Added theft to fraud. 76. Staged his murder, planted evidence everywhere, fled to Vancouver, perfect escape to Canada. Then he filed his U.S. taxes. From Canada, reporting foreign income, with his social security number. IRS doesn't care if you're dead. They still want their cut. Death and taxes, but taxes always wins. 77. Faked drowning during a fishing trip. Search teams combed the lake, news coverage everywhere, beautiful memorial service. He was hiding at his hunting cabin 30 miles away. Got caught when he called 911 about a bear outside. Dispatch traced the call. Dead men don't report wildlife. 78. This genius faked a heart attack and bribed a funeral home employee to cremate a pig instead of him. Solid plan. Employee took the money, cremated the pig, then immediately reported him. Kept the bribe money though. Honored the transaction, just not the secrecy part of it. 79. Man staged his death in a motorcycle crash. Left the bike mangled on the highway, helmet cracked, very dramatic. Insurance paid out fast. He got caught because he kept riding motorcycles. Same bike model. Same custom paint job. Posted photos to a motorcycle forum. Using his real username from before he died. Forum members noticed. 80. Faked his murder, framed a co-worker completely, fled to Chile. The framed co-worker had an airtight alibi. He was already in jail that night. DUI arrest. Already in police custody. Physically impossible to commit murder. Sir, you framed the one person with government-verified proof of innocence. 81. Staged a fatal car crash on a remote highway. Left burned remains in the vehicle. The remains were a Halloween skeleton decoration, plastic bones, manufacturer's tag still attached. Made in China. Not suitable for children under 3. Also not suitable for faking your death, apparently. 82. This mastermind faked dying in an industrial accident, moved to Portland, started fresh. 2 years of freedom. Then he applied for his old job, at the same company. Different location, same HR database. Background check pulled up his death certificate. Also his very alive face on Zoom. 83. Man faked his drowning, collected insurance through his girlfriend, used the money to buy a boat. Yes, a boat. After faking a drowning, registered it under his real name. In the same state. Named it New Beginning. Coast Guard pulled him over for a safety check. Checked more than safety. 84. Staged his murder to escape gambling debts. Very elaborate crime scene. Very convincing. Then he showed up at the same casino 3 months later. Same casino where he owed money. Same dealers, same pit bosses. Tried to win it back. Security recognized him in about 4 seconds flat. 85. Faked dying in a house fire. Fled to Nevada. Started a completely new life. Perfect escape. Then his ex-wife started dating someone new. He showed up at her house to confront the guy. Couldn't let it go. Jealousy doesn't care about your fake death. Neither did the cops she called. 86. This genius faked dying in a car crash and left dental evidence at the scene. Very CSI, very thorough. Problem. He used his dog's teeth. Pulled them himself, scattered them around. Vet records identified them immediately. German Shepherd, not German-American male. Animal cruelty charges added. 87. Man faked a carjacking and murder, disappeared completely into thin air. Got caught because he kept using his Planet Fitness membership. Black Card member could use any location nationwide. Did use every location. Check-ins pinged his very alive presence across multiple states. Gains over brains. 88. Staged his death, moved to a small town in Vermont, lived quietly for years. Got caught when he wrote a letter to the mayor complaining about a pothole. Formal complaint, real name, new address included. Government keeps records of everything. Even potholes, especially formal complaints about potholes. 89. Faked drowning to escape his wife. Classic motivation, moved 2 towns over, got married again within a year, got caught at Costco when both wives showed up shopping. Same aisle, same moment, same shocked expression. He was buying bulk toilet paper, needed it for the mess he created. 90. This legend faked his death in a plane crash, left convincing wreckage, scattered evidence, disappeared. Then he sued the aircraft manufacturer for the defective plane that killed him, filed the lawsuit as himself, in open court. Judge had follow-up questions, lots of follow-up questions. 91. Man staged a fatal mugging, fled to Barcelona, started over completely. 5 years of perfect freedom. Then he photobombed a tourist's Instagram post. Just walking by in the background eating gelato. His ex-wife follows travel influencers. Recognized his walk and his terrible posture. Moms aren't the only ones watching. 92. Faked dying in a work accident. Wife collected insurance. They bought a ranch in Montana. Smart plan. Then he started selling homemade beef jerky at farmers markets, under his real name, with his face on the label. Dave's Premium Jerky. Dave was supposed to be dead. Customers started asking questions. Then cops did. 93. Staged his drowning, moved to Oklahoma, lived quietly for years. Got caught because he couldn't resist entering a chili cook-off. Won second place. Local paper did a feature on the winners. His secret ingredient was cumin. His secret identity was a federal crime. One photo ended both secrets simultaneously. 94. This genius faked a heart attack, had his doctor buddy sign the death certificate. Solid plan. Doctor spelled cardiac arrest as cardiac arrest. Coroner's office called immediately. Not about the fraud initially. They were concerned about the doctor's medical license. Both men ended up with problems. 95. Man faked his murder, planted evidence, disappeared completely for 6 months. Perfect crime. Then someone insulted him on Twitter and he couldn't resist responding. Used his old account. Verified email, real name, bio still said living my best life. He wasn't anymore. Ego killed the escape. 96. Staged a fatal construction accident, left boots and a bloody jacket at the scene. Very convincing. Except the jacket still had his dry cleaning receipt in the pocket, with his name and phone number, and a note saying, "Pick up Thursday." Dry cleaner called Thursday. So did the police. 97. Faked drowning to escape his in-laws. Honestly, the most relatable motivation on this entire list. Moved 3 states away. Got caught at a family reunion he couldn't resist attending. Mother-in-law spotted him first. Turned him in personally. Said the betrayal was worse than the death. Thanksgiving stays awkward forever. 98. This mastermind staged his death and fled to Dublin. Perfect escape, new accent, new life. Got homesick after 2 years, started watching NFL games at an American sports bar, wore his favorite team's jersey, his old jersey, with his last name on the back. Bartender was also American, also recognized the name from the news. 99. Faked a boating accident, collected insurance, disappeared to rural Texas. Kept his head down for 4 years. Then he got really into local politics, attended every town hall meeting, argued about zoning laws, gave passionate speeches. Local news covered one, his face on the evening broadcast. His ex-wife watches the news every night. Civic engagement ended his criminal career. 100. Staged his murder, disappeared completely, started over in a tiny town in Montana. Perfect execution, flawless disappearance. Then he entered a local look-alike contest. Dressed as himself. In his new city. Won first place. Photo in the paper. Headline wrote itself. Local man wins own look-alike contest. 101. This absolute legend faked his death to escape everything. Debts, wives, warrants, all of it. New country, new name, completely new life. Total reinvention. Then he died for real 3 years later. Natural causes, peaceful passing. Nobody came to his real funeral because everyone already mourned him once. Faked death. Real death. Zero attendance at both. The universe has a sense of humor. 101 people who looked at their life said, "I'm out," planned an escape, and then fumbled it in the dumbest way possible. If you enjoyed watching these geniuses self-destruct, hit that like button. Subscribe if you want more. Now here's my question, and I want honest answers in the comments. If you had to fake your death right now, today, with what you currently know, how long do you think you'd actually last before getting caught? Give me a number, days, weeks, years, and tell me what would probably blow your cover. Be honest, I'll be reading.